Greg on the chicks, come on!
Inspiring words. Truly.
Am I even on?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, I am.
Everyone's on. Hello and welcome to the room. Hello,
I don't think I'm on.
Sean. You are on,
Oh,
Joe.
blimey, that is loud.
Am I on?
What's loud?
Who knows?
Everything. We are on Pulse Media Radio Station. We have to plug that every week. So.
Yes, we do.
But anyway, so welcome back to the Room Radio Show. We are
No,
a
this one's
radio
on.
show that
Your one's on as well.
talks about films and TV.
Hey, Tom. Sorry.
For followers,
Flawless start.
yeah, absolutely.
Once again.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
For those of you who know who we are, welcome back. And for those who are tuning in right now, don't go anywhere. Stay. Listen to our amazing voices and hear us talk about films. Whether you agree with us or disagree, or other.
Wow. Is there another to disagreeing or agreeing, just being impartial?
I mean, is there more than two genders?
Gone to the toilet to our left, which is gender neutral as always. No assumptions, no stereotypes, no gender roles. It's for everyone. Hashtag we win with a 2 E's because it's a we. It's a pun. It's a funny. It's some top quality.
That toilet might as well be our sponsor.
It basically is we. Josh, how do you find our pages, our social media,
The
our
socials.
livelihood?
I'll tell you, Tom, this is how you find the socials. You listen very carefully to what I'm about to say, okay? You listening?
I am.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the listeners. Are you listening? Yeah, I just got a text, they're listening. I did a funny.
That makes more sense. The headphones weren't working.
You can tweet us at The Room Pulse on Twitter, obviously. You can comment on our Facebook page, The Room Pulse Media Radio Show. Or, I got them right both times there.
Oh, did
Or
you?
if you want to sponsor us, you know, do anything but criticise. Why not email us on our business email, theroompulse@gmail.com. That's the first time I've ever gotten all right.
Holy
I am happy.
crap! That's a miracle.
So,
Silver lining.
as always, we're going to start with a bit of news, as Sean put it the other week so elegantly. We should have recorded that and used it as a
Should
soundbite.
have, yeah.
Yeah.
Have we got soundbites? We haven't used soundbites in a while.
Yeah, it's because the people who come in before us, delightful people, I'm informed they're very funny.
Oh.
They've got that wee banter down. They they're always here until literally 8 o'clock, so we never have time to upload them. We can stick a song on and then stick a song on and then do it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. And we'll come back and we'll explain what we're going to do this.
So so we got news and then we've got a theme of the week as always. But before that, here is the first tune of the soundtrack. If you know what this tune is, be sure to comment on our Facebook page or tweet us what this film could be.
What kind of drugs do you take?
Do be sure to also comment that on our Facebook page.
Did you just open?
Huh?
Was it open when you went?
No.
This
You
is
just
not a
open it.
discussion for on air time.
I wanted to.
But anybody who's wondering, Essentials is still open. So we're going to start with a bit of news as always. Film-related news, of course. This is a film, TV, and storytelling platform program, as Tom likes to put it.
Put on a t-shirt.
Yep. So, has anybody got any news to start off with?
I have something I want to talk about.
Do you want to do it closer to your mic then?
Let's do it.
Here we go, lads. Buckle up for 40 minutes of nonsense.
Have you guys seen the new Incredibles 2 trailer?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Hype. Tremendous hype. There's always hype.
There is hype, but I feel like they're doing what
Don't say it.
they tend to do with other sequels, is that they've just copped out and given a really bad plot.
It looks like a good plot.
I mean, I'm
It
hoping
looks like the same plot as the first film.
it kind of, but that wasn't the main selling point of the first one. They were just oh, that's just normal life. Whereas this one, the main selling point is
Normal life.
it's a story that you would have as a little short mini animation on the side. You know, in the first one, you had Jack's
What is the
babysitting.
plot, Tom?
Just Mr. Incredible has to look after Jack.
Well, Smith Elastigirl goes and does missions, so it's exactly the same plot as the first one, which is just flipped on his head. So it looks
No, but it wasn't the selling point of the first one. That wasn't the
Hey.
main focus of the first movie.
It's a winning
I
formula.
wasn't sold the first one. I was a child.
Yeah,
I would have watched that.
I'm
first
worried
anyway.
they've done what they've done with Cars 2
I'm
or
not.
Cars 3 and just
I don't know. I think like if it's like 11 years in the making or whatever, they
Toy
probably
Story
got
2?
it right. You know,
I was just
Toy Story
disappointed.
3.
11 years or 12 years of waiting for Incredibles 2. and
Bugs
then
Life 2.
It was just
Ants.
Mr. Incredible babysits Jack Jack.
Mm-hmm.
There was a new trailer for Rampage,
Yeah, I've not watched any trailers.
another Dwayne Johnson film where everything goes wrong. But in this one, he's got both legs. Unlike
Oh yeah.
what's the one called, High Rise or whatever,
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper. Yep.
Same
Wow,
thing.
don't care. I watched Phantom Thread this week.
Really good.
News. It's really good. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Daniel Day-Lewis is in it. He's
Yeah.
very.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. It's probably like his least Daniel Day-Lewis-y performance though. On a scale of Daniel Day-Lewis to Daniel Day-Lewis.
It's one hell of a scale.
Yeah.
Right. What news have we?
Louis in it are.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say my friend. You don't really like him, do you, Tom?
I mean, put me on the spot on like a live radio.
Tom doesn't like him.
Tom,
No,
I'm putting you on the
never
spot.
said that.
Do you not like him?
No,
Is it
I
because
do.
he's ginger?
No,
So it's the gays, the
there's
gingers,
never been
and,
one point
and the
where I've
women-
been
and the
like, I
women
don't
that Tom
like
hates.
Louis.
Yep.
Do you know what?
You know, Tom.
Stop alienating.
Tom's
me
views in
against
this
everyone.
in this radio show are completely his own and do not reflect the station or ours.
Lies.
Yep. The guy who did Sicario 2 is being recruited to do Call of Duty, the
Wow.
film.
The more generic the film. It's
God
just gonna be
damn
like generic battle film. The film.
When a game series dies, you know, it's like let's make a film out of it. Happened with Assassin's Creed, Uncharted is happening.
Oh, Assassin's
Mm.
Creed Rebirthed with Origins.
Just
What a game.
Who can be bothered? Who can be bothered? Okay. Anybody else got anything else they'd like to add about anything else at all? Anything else?
not really much news. Is
Oh,
it?
I was talking to I was showing Mike earlier about a new film that is now quite high up on my list of hype. Yeah, we should talk about that. But a film that's quite high up on the list of hype, a trailer released, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. It's called The Quiet Place. No, The Quiet Place, I think it's called.
I'm
Isn't that a
so
TV
looking
series,
forward-
No, that is the TV series. I think there's a film that's called like The Quiet. I don't know.
I think it's a quiet place.
You know,
Oh, is this the one
it's
with Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt and John
Mhm.
Krasinski,
Yeah.
the couple. I
It
think John
looks
Krasinski's
so
directed it, and it's a really original.
That's just lazy
idea.
casting, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just getting his missus in.
Just get my wife. There we go. We can both make money.
To be fair, if I was married to her,
Emily Blunt, I'd put her
be
in
stuck to her
everything.
all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair enough, to be fair.
You'd put her in everything.
But yeah, no, it looks like a very original idea, and I really like the idea of it.
If they hear you, they'll come and they'll kill you.
If they do it
To be
right,
fair,
it'll
the
be
kid in
so
this-
tense.
If I've only seen this TV spot, I think, where the kid starts like messing with something.
And he drops the lantern. Yeah.
Oh, no, they're playing Monopoly. And they,
No, he's walking down a bridge and he does something
Oh yeah, he has a little. That's the actual full trailer.
like a
And
wind-up
he
toy or
has
something.
like an astronaut, a spaceship, and it makes a bit of noise.
God,
and John
right, if
Krasinski
you live in
empties
that
it.
world, that kid deserves to die. What a nonce!
I
He's
liked,
putting everybody's life
see,
at risk there.
I liked Mike's theory on it. It was
hate it when they do that stuff like that, where the kids are like in The Purge, the first one. Oh no, it's the
The
Purge
kids
night,
just-
and then we just open up
just
the
open up
doors
all
and
the-
let in this random person.
well, see, this I really like this really original idea, and they don't actually show you any monster or anything, but so you don't actually know what is sort of out to get him. Except see there, you can see like in the poster, you can see like a hand. Looks like the aliens from Signs, but
if they leave it with this trailer, that'll be excellent.
they won't obviously.
No, they'll
But
ruin
I'll
it.
just not watch anymore.
God,
No,
they
no.
ruin everything, don't
But,
they? Don't
Mike-
people just ruin
They
everything?
do.
Yep.
But Mike's take on the film, he thinks that this is his theory. He thinks that the film is made and it's a plot to sort of like weed out the snorers of the world, because his first thought, actually I told him this film, and his first thought that came to mind was, what if you snore? And it's genius. What if you snore? You're dead. You're sat there in the middle of the night, you snore, dead. Gone. You're dead before you even know it. You can't wake
I
yourself
feel like
up
there's
when you
bigger
snore.
problems in the
No,
world
no.
than snorers.
Not if the only problem
I
you've
was
got in the
saying-
world.
You fart in your sleep as well. What if you
Well,
fart?
you're dead.
As we
You're
found
dead.
out the other day, I talk in my sleep.
You're dead. We're all dead, basically.
Slag?
Yeah.
Basically,
Tom,
you've
that's
got,
very offensive. God, it
I
really
know,
does hate
imagine
women,
how
doesn't
does
it?
hate
Faye
women.
feels.
Yeah.
Terrible.
you've got to duct tape your mouth, your anus, and your penis.
Do you want to have a crack at this name, Jack?
It's Johan Johansson.
Oh, it's a pretty good effort.
I think that's what it's called. Actually, I think it's called Johan Johansson, who
Lazy parenting.
scored. That is lazy parenting. scored Sicario and Arrival, has died. And does it say here how he died? Because I was talking to my dad about this, and I think it's suicide because it's
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say suicide, but it doesn't equally. If it was like cancer or whatever, it'd say. I'd say after a battle with, but it hasn't said anything, which leads me to believe it's suicide. It could be drug related, but I mean, he looks like a lovely bloke. But I suppose drug dealers.
Drugs gets to the best of us,
There you go.
as Denny just pointed out. Or
What kind of drugs do you take?
There we go. Just pointed out.
we all need to know.
Yep, that's a very good scores as well.
Oh yeah, it's a terrible shame. He will be missed.
Black Panther's really good.
Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Not seen it. I saw it on. I googled it, and it's like Rotten Tomato score is really high, and its IMDb score is really low.
No, it is really good. It stands out as its own as a Marvel film. Because the one thing that crossed my mind, like, I wasn't particularly hyped for this film because I think it's one of the worst trailers I've seen in recent time.
The trailer doesn't do any.
The trailer
justice.
is just terrible. It makes it look like they've gone, we've got this black guy, let's make it the most black thing ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it doesn't make it look appealing. But obviously I'm going to watch it anyway because it's a Marvel film. I don't care what's going on in it. It's a Marvel film. I'm going to watch it. So I'm watching it, and it is really, really good. As all Marvel films are, in my opinion. Most Marvel films are, in my opinion. But one thought did cross my mind before I was watching it. I did wonder. I did think, is it getting like 99% on tomato meters just because it's the black installment of the Marvel
I was
franchise?
gonna say, everybody in this is like, I know it was
There's
set in Africa, but
there's two white
everybody in
cast.
it is black, and those who are white are like really
it's Martin
white.
Freeman and Andy Serkis. But it did cross my mind, and
It's
I didn't
great.
I didn't
It's
want
fantastic.
I didn't want that to be like the reason, but sort of in the political climate we're in the minute, it sort of sways that
Yeah.
way. It isn't. It is a very good film. It's not like 99% out of 10 on 98% on Rotten
Come on,
Tomatoes. It's not
Jack,
that
get it
good.
right.
It's a good Marvel film. It stands out on its own as a Marvel film. It's up there with like Ant-Man. If you like Ant-Man, it's that sort of film that sort of stands alone as a good film. It's not really funny, but it doesn't try to be funny like Ragnarok
I
did.
feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah,
a lot of Marvel
I
films
agree.
tend to lose their serious or
See-
like the intensity of the scene or the drama that they're in
Yeah.
because they make wisecracks in like the most weirdest of places.
See, I think it worked for Ragnarok, but that's because everybody knows Thor. Thor's a really established character, and you know he's like invincible, so it's irrelevant. Whereas for Black Panther, because with Black Panther, I was really intrigued because I really like him in Civil War, but he just sort of turns up out of nowhere. His powers aren't explained. He just has this suit, and he sort of just. It's the loudest thing.
Yeah, that was really discreet. That Tom.
He tried
Why
doing
don't
it
you tell
under
your
the
viewers at
table.
home now those Doritos?
It was like
toast?
really slowly under the table. Yeah, so he turns up, he has this suit, and he just sort of like blitzes his way past cars, jumps mountains and stuff. So in the very opening of Black Panther, in the first 2 minutes, it literally like gives you all the context. It's like, they eat the plant and then they all get food. And it's basically like...
Can you do that accent one more time? For
I'll do that accent for the rest of the show, I love it.
Okay.
It's literally what it is.
The devil is a liar.
But it's very good. It's a very good film. It's nicely explained. The acting's really good in it, except from Forrest Whitaker, of course.
Oh God.
Leave him alone.
But don't worry, he
Yeah,
dies.
I can't
in
tell if he's
everything.
really good or really bad in anything he's in.
Michael B. Jordan's good in it. I was talking to Sean about it because Sean liked it, but he wasn't keen on the villains. But I really like the villains because the two villains.
Is it?
Sandy Serkis with these weird rubber things.
Sandy Serkis with his fake arm, and and Michael B. Jordan with his Black Panther.
His normal arms.
His normal arms, I
Yeah.
suppose. And I really like the villains. I think there's a good scene. I like the scene where sort of Michael B. Jordan comes and establishes himself as this big
Black
but-
lad.
big black lad. But obviously,
He is a big.
I mean, you've
big lad.
seen the trailers for Infinity War. You know Black Panther's in it.
I have not.
Well, you know Black Panther's in it.
Hmm.
So obviously, Black Panther can't physically die in this or lose.
But
So
emotionally,
emotionally,
he's
he
there
can
for
lose
the killing.
everything.
I mean, they're not gonna.
So who
they're not
knows?
ever gonna kill off a bloody superhero of their superhero movie. It's Marvel. Like they know not to make that mistake.
Yeah, imagine like killing
I think
Logan
the
off of
benefits.
Logan. Spoiler alert.
The most damage that's ever been done to a superhero in any superhero film is Thor got his eye ripped out in Thor Ragnarok.
That was legit.
And I was like,
And his
Jesus.
hammer.
And his hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got
That was
screwed
the
up,
worst.
didn't it?
Like,
Yeah.
why did they do that?
Really got screwed
Stakes
up
in
in
that
that
film.
film.
Stakes.
It was a great film. I think that's one of my favourite Marvel films.
Tom, what's your thoughts on it?
What film?
Thor Ragnarok.
Great film.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
Is that all you got to say? Okay then.
That's just the input.
We were not prepared for the end of that song.
No, we were not.
It
Nope.
snuck up. It snuck up on us.
It's Jerry Lee Lewis there.
Actually assassinated us.
What can only be described as probably thrush.
Probably can't say balls anymore, can you?
Yeah.
Great gender
we've had some
neutrals of
great
fire.
listener feedback here from Jake20 from Preston. He said he thinks Star Wars was ruined by the too many jokes, like you said, Jack. He also said he's not a big fan of Black Lightning on Netflix. So it's nonsensical for me.
The Star Wars thing is a good point. I don't think we've talked about Star Wars yet. But I loved Last Jedi. I thought it was a brilliant film. However, I will agree with the jokes thing. I think there were quite a few jokes in that film that I could overlook, but I think were very out of place for the film. Like there was,
It's him to do it. Like,
there was it obviously because it's marketed as a younger audience now, but because they know adults like they know what we're going to go watching it. They know what generations above us are going to go watching it. But to draw in the younger audience and to sort of get them excited, they feel like they need to throw jokes in. So right at the beginning of The Last Jedi, there was this one joke, and I think it's Poe Dameron is sat outside in his little tiny X-wing, and this General Hux, he's sat there going,
Yeah, that
he was
goes
on, he was on the phone, and he's like, yeah, it's me, and I can't hear you, sorry, and it's basically like a phone joke, but it's really out
it's
of
good,
place.
but I like it, but it's too long. Carries on too long. You're like, hey,
Yeah,
yes,
well, that's American humour, though, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
but
the American stuff.
I don't know. That seems out of place in Star Wars to me. Star Wars comedy for me is like Han Solo in A New Hope shooting the communications box. He's like, "I'm fine, thanks. How are you?"
You mentioned that last week. You're a big fan of that
I
scene.
like that scene.
Yeah.
But that's the sort of comedy I like. And in Force Awakens, I didn't think there was too many jokes because I like some of the because they had Han Solo in it, so they know that the comedy is there. But in this, I feel
Harrison
like
Ford just being a moany old git.
basically, I feel like they're trying to make Poe Dameron Han Solo. And they are. I'm sure he dresses.
Basically,
There's a
yeah,
scene
yeah.
where he dresses like Han Solo. It's like Lando in
They've literally
Empire?
casted him to be Han Solo.
They have.
They should have cast him as the young Han Solo rather than Alden Ehrenreich.
But no,
should've.
with the whole like jokes thing, let's bring up a very very hard fact that we have to deal with when they butchered Ratchet and Clank with millennial jokes.
Butchered what?
Butchered Ratchet and Clank.
No idea.
No,
What?
I didn't see it either. I played Ratchet and Clank briefly as a kid, but
Oh my god. Okay.
I was
Oh,
never.
You
Your
bloody
stupid comments in your pocket.
younglings.
There we go. You've had a warning.
I was never
Thank
too
you.
bothered to.
Should we move on to our theme?
Let's move on to our theme.
Yep. So this week's theme is going to be films where the hero dies.
Spoilers alert.
Basically, heavy spoilers.
Spoilers. That's
All
what this
our
title's going
listeners
to
have
be.
now left.
Um,
Congratulations.
well, yeah. I've not gone for any where it's like, for example, 300, where the entire tale of that film is about 300 men who go kill like 300,000 people and then die. So I've avoided stuff like that. I've tried to go for some classics, some ones with some important deaths, unexpected deaths, and everything in between. So on that note, do you mind if I kick it off?
Yeah.
I said it last week and I'll say it this week. Passion of the Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh, who dies in that?
Jesus.
I mean, yeah. You go to watch a film and you know he's gonna die. No. Let's not have this. Unacceptable.
Did you just slam
It's like a gavel.
Coca-Cola Zero on the table?
I did.
That
Coca-Cola
Abba
Zero
Coke.
with.
There are other options.
I am
zero
Pepsi,
sugar.
There's Pepsi as well.
I'm sure. Yep. Or Doritos, as Tom's clearly pointing out.
Tom's made loud of.
So yeah, well done. So yeah, Jesus in that film, he's the hero. You follow him,
I mean,
and
hero.
he dies, and bloody hell, does he die in some way? Getting strung up and everything, It's not how I'd
What's
like
is
to go.
going on?
Yeah, Tom, what are you doing? Right.
The mic won't stay.
Wait, you're not even.
There we go.
Turn
Fixed
your
him.
mic off.
Just turned him off.
No, you're on a timeout.
Just muted him, boys.
Jack, have you have any? out and at home, please do tell us
So-
who you think the greatest on-screen deaths.
Clear this
Of
up for me.
heroes
Is
are.
this? Oh, he's messed up, hasn't
Fix it. I'll be back on.
he? Clear this up for me.
Tom, you got to save your suspension.
Is this the most heroic movie deaths, or is it the best movie deaths, or is it the best times a bad guy has defeated the hero, or is it all
of the above?
Yeah.
But the ones that are meaningful to you or important, or you think are a good one to talk about,
Right, we'll go-
worth people at home listening to, worth Jake
I
20
mean-
from Preston listening to.
Heroic deaths
21
in
actually,
film.
I think. Sorry.
I'm just gonna have to Google it.
Whoops.
Oh no, I've seen it. The sniper in Saving Private Ryan. What a man!
Well, I had Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan.
Well,
but yeah.
you know what?
Why not the
Fine.
entirety of Saving Private Ryan's cast, apart from Upping?
Apart
yeah.
from Vin Diesel.
Everybody on that
Upping.
beach.
Apart
Up
from Vin Diesel.
That's a good point.
Why Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel.
He's an idiot.
Sorry, I'll turn your mic back on now.
It is a bit.
Why Vin Diesel? He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
That guy died for
He
freedom.
died for a girl.
Right. So there's.
I bet you're a fan of Hitler as well, aren't you?
I bet you like that German that shot Tom Hanks.
Yep.
No.
You thought he was a hero,
Nah.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Nah, bastard.
Actually, yeah, good point. The entire cast of Saving Private Ryan, except from Uppin and Private Ryan.
And the one who's a bit of a knobhead all the way through and survives.
I like him. The Brooklyn guy.
Yeah.
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 Or the medic. The medic's a hero. He's like, don't want to die. And
Oh
everyone's
no,
like,
don't. That scene gives me bloody. Oh,
What's his name? Giovanni something, isn't it?
Rabisi.
Ribisi,
PTSD
yeah.
of
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good film.
Very good.
You know, Steven Spielberg cast Vin Diesel in that after seeing Vin Diesel's like short film that he wrote, directed, and produced himself, and budgeted all himself and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, "You're so good. I'm going to give you a job to pay off that film that you just made."
Wow.
Yeah, interesting fact for you there.
Interesting. You know, the D-Day sequence was actually Frank Darabont's idea. Spielberg was making the film.
What, D-Day was Frank Darabont?
No.
Wow.
I said the D-Day sequence. You
This entire
bloody
nation
idiots.
and world really have a lot to thank Frank Darabont for. First Degree
Not
Mile and
just the one.
Shawshank.
Do you know what? Don't even continue the joke. I literally said sequence.
Brilliant.
Listen, Jack.
Brilliant.
Was he like the real figure behind Eisenhower? You know.
Churchill was Frank Darabont all along.
Move on, Jack. What's your Oh no, you already said yours, haven't you?
What? Yeah. You can,
Go on then,
move
Tom. You hit us with one, and then we'll stick a song on.
Gladiator.
No, well, see, I didn't pick that one because the film's about a gladiator. What a gladiator is famous for, Tom?
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Dying.
What's Jesus famous for? Dying.
No, saving us from our sins, Tom.
No. The whole point.
You're on a
of that
timeout.
film was
What?
You're on a.
I feel like Jesus isn't just famous for dying.
Yes, he is. He died for our sins. That's
He
the
did
whole
other
point.
things.
I
No,
feel
he
like
didn't.
he did that thing with the wine and the water and the fish.
He did that thing with a fish, didn't
Yeah, feeding the 5,000. He did that.
he? He cooked some salmon.
He smashed up a church once.
He was nice to a prostitute.
I mean.
He forgived Judas
Do you know what?
and came back to life. So he didn't even die for our sins, pussy.
Sean, 21 from Preston, says Paul Walker. I'm not sure that's. I'm not sure.
He doesn't die in the film. He does not die in the film, so we
Rest in
can't
peace.
accept that one.
But we all died watching that film.
Right.
Was
I
that
like-
the one
I
with
like-
the world's longest airport?
I liked the bit with the stunt double, but it's his brother.
Again, Jake, 21 from Preston. William Wallace,
I was going to say William
film
Wallace.
famous
Oh, that's my
for
next one. Jake.
dying.
You
I was about to say,
fucking-
can
and
we
nothing like a
slow down? We got to bring these up ourselves. Talk about them. Can't just name off everyone that somebody says on social media. Thank you for your comment though.
Tom hates our fans.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Oh,
The
fuck.
gays, the women,
And now the fans.
and now the fans. God, you know, disgusting.
I still have one fan
Tom
in the
has,
studio.
Tom has no bias for hate.
Tom is.
Tom
Well,
hates
I-
everyone except white men.
Yep.
And not in a gay way.
No. Well,
Because he hates the gays too.
yeah, he does. To be fair, he could be a hypocrite.
Could be.
No one.
This one is a shout out to Jordan Smith.
You're right, it tastes good.
Okay, and we're back with more famous protagonist deaths.
Yes.
And this is protagonist in the loosest sense of the word. It's, of course, 4 lions. 4 martyrs. 4 squashed to martyrs. I'm a much Dean and I'm making a scene. Now you're going to know what the boom boom mean. I've committed, so I'll finish.
Please don't.
I'll stop there before I get too offensive. Obviously, 4 main characters about... I said before, gladiators. It's a bit obvious because it's about somebody whose profession is to go and fight to the death.
Yeah, but 300 wasn't about numbers, was it?
Well, no, but 300 was about a tale of 300 men who go die.
You can't mention 300 yet.
Yeah,
Tom, you're missing the obvious...
No.
Tom, you missed the obvious thing.
You're saying gladiators because it's called gladiators. It's about a gladiator that dies in an arena, right? Okay.
I'm not saying it's because it's called gladiators, it's because it's about gladiators.
And?
Right.
It could be about
Tom, you want to have a go at me?
gladiator.
Say this. You've picked a film about suicide bombers. When did they never not die?
I mean, does it say suicide bombers 4 lines?
No, it says 4 lines.
Yeah, 4.
God. He ate suicide bombers as well. There we go. Another one for the
That's
list.
a valid point.
Who doesn't?
ISIS.
That's a good point.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure they're recruiting happily.
Moving on. What
Tom
is your
hates
choice?
ISIS confirmed.
Yeah. 4 lines just because it's like such a outrageous topic and such a funny film, and if it wasn't for the King's Speech, would have won everything that year. You know. And I know which film I'd rather watch. I watched that like 3 days in a row when it came out. I loved that film. But yeah, 4 lines because there's 4 or 5 actually really fantastic deaths. 5.
Yeah, the guy.
The 5th one's the best one. Fessel takes a sheep out with him. Proper martyred the
I
sheep.
saw him in a film the other day.
It's quite easy.
Oh, it was The Big Sick.
Is he in that?
He plays Kumail's brother in The Big Sick. Yeah.
Nice. He won a BAFTA not so long ago for Utopia, Channel 4 series, before it got cancelled. So yeah, 4 lines, 4 really good deaths. Wadge is so funny. I'm sorry, bro. I don't even know what I'm doing.
What a film. What a film.
You can't see it right now, but Tom has got his confused face on.
I know what's
I think I'm confused, bro.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. Just love it. Jack, what are you going to hit us with?
I was going to say King Leonidas from 300 because, you know, to be honest, all of them from 300. It's a valid point, they all die, don't they? So yeah, there you go.
Which one is the protagonist?
Actually, no, only 299 of them die.
Actually, that other guy in the real life story killed himself due to the shame.
Fair enough. I always thought, you know what? Bit of a pussy.
I mean, he was ordered to go back. And
Nah,
rally the
pussy,
troops.
Mate, if Thor can do it with one eye, why can't he?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Just some listener feedback here. Jake 21 from Preston says, "Fuck you, Tom." Just quoting him, so you know. Bleep.
We're on the radio right now, so I can't respond in a manner that I want to. So I should just politely say, "Thank you."
Thank you.
Actually, sorry, that was Sean 21 from Preston. Oh no, wait, Jake 21 from Preston also said, "Fuck you, Tom." Yeah.
It's alright. He's
Both
native to Preston, so I forgive him for.
Tom, where do you live?
Well, I'm not native to Preston, am I?
Yeah, but where did you choose to live then?
I mean, forced, but
Forced by what? You choosing to come here to have an education?
life. My own choice, mate.
Steep.
Anyway, moving on.
We've got Tom Finney. What you got, mate? Bunch of inbred farmers.
Custard.
Pasties.
One member of ELO, I think.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The original starting member. Oh no, wait. Shit.
Jack, what have you got to hit us with?
He's already done it.
I've just done mine, but I'll go again.
Oh yeah, 300. Go on.
No. Right. So,
Will you stop messing about
what's
with
the
that?
guy called? Hang on, 2 seconds. Let me just.
All right, Jack, you go.
All right.
again.
You
I was gonna say Boromir from Fellowship.
That's interesting. I had Lord of the Rings down, but not for Boromir.
Oh, who do you have down?
Frodo at the end. Yeah.
Who?
Frodo.
And Gandalf.
Because
I
it's
mean-
like the story's been told. You're like, yes, they all made it out alive, and then
I mean,
nah,
it's not. I don't
Frodo's
know.
good.
I feel like Boromir's death's more heroic because you hate him the entire film, and then he just decides, you know what?
Yeah, but
I'm
it's-
gonna be a good guy.
you forget one important factor. It's Sean Bean.
It's true.
You know he's gonna die.
He doesn't die in National Treasure. What a film.
He could die in National
I
Treasure.
bet he died in prison. I
Yeah.
bet he got shot in prison.
Probably. I
I bet he
mean,
got stabbed in prison
yeah, with something.
with something.
Tom, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say Roger Deakins, cinematographer of Blade Runner. Great cinematographer. He's actually native to the town.
Oh, it wasn't even.
No, my choice is
I don't remember him dying on screen.
no, Children of Men.
Of all the Roger Deakins films, you picked Children of Men.
No, it wasn't a Roger Deakins film.
Oh. What,
No, you were just saying, what do we have? And I was
Oh,
trying to
Children of
say
Men.
and then you wouldn't let me fucking finish.
Did you Google a list of films where the protagonist dies?
Yes.
Does he die in
Fantastic.
Children of Men? Do you
Yeah, he
actually
dies in the boat at the
Do you
end.
on-screen see him die? Or you just on-screen saw him sort of like...
I think he just falls over in the boat.
Well, if
oh,
not,
yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah,
you have Michael Caine in that.
Michael Caine.
That was a tragic loss.
Nah, the bird in the car. Getting her head blown off.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Who getting her head blown off?
That bird in the car.
Oh, what's she called?
Oh,
Did I-
Julianne Moore.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, she does get messed up in that, to be fair.
Is her head blown off?
I've got one here. It's an interesting one.
Is it?
It is Source Code.
Ooh.
Do you know what? It's a great film.
That was a
Yeah.
great film.
Obviously, what's his name? Duncan Jones, son of the late great David Bowie. Fun fact for you there. Or daughter, until he became a son. But, as we always say in this show, no assumptions, no stereotypes, no gender roles. It's for everyone. Hashtag we win. And that's we with 2 E's.
Brilliant.
It's a pun. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes, because that entire film, he's in a simulation, and you see him, and he's got like an arm off, a leg off. I think he's only got one arm, actually.
No, he's like completely torn up.
Yeah, but
does he actually die at the end? I thought.
yeah, she kills him at the end
Yeah.
just to put him out of his,
I remember this.
She shuts down the machine, but then the machine...
We should explain the plot a bit better for anybody who hasn't seen
It's
it.
a reasonable.
So
It's Groundhog Day on a train.
there's going to be a terrorist attack, and they have this simulation, and they put this soldier who's like dead everywhere, apart from like maybe,
He's got like
the smallest
upper
part of his brain.
of his torso, one arm, and his head.
and he's on a machine keeping him alive, and they use him in simulations to predict or to work out all the scenarios and stop a terrorist attack, basically. And he dies like loads and loads of times in the film, and he does it all with the promise at the end that the woman in charge will kill him, and she does. And it's quite a sad symbolic death. Great director. I want to see what he's got up next.
Very good.
It's been a while. Should we stick a song on?
Let's
Yeah.
do that.
Let's remind the people why we play these songs,
I was
Tom.
about to say, I don't think we did
Not
that.
because we're boring.
So, right. What we do is, in order to give you a break from our lovely voices, which is not necessary, but we do anyway, we have to play music as it is a radio. So what we did is we decided to come up with a theme. So what we do is we take a soundtrack from a movie. We don't tell you what the movie is. We play the soundtrack, and you have to try and figure out what movie that soundtrack is from. If you figure it out, go to our Facebook or our Twitter. Let us know. Comment or message us. And then if you're right, we'll give you a prize. If you're wrong, well, keep guessing.
Keep guessing. And that has to be on our Facebook page or our Twitter. Don't be direct messaging us. You know, that's how you get into all kinds of situations. So yeah,
Like
to remind you
Screen
again,
Junkies.
those, yeah, like Screen Junkies. Our Twitter is @TheRoomPulse. Our Facebook is The Room Pulse Media Radio Show. Don't email us, but if you want to, our email is theroompulse@gmail.com. I've got it right twice in one show, Tom. Can you believe
You're
it?
on a roll.
I am smashing it.
On fire.
I cannot tell you. It's confidential.
Oh, come on, why not?
No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?
You can inbox me that, but don't comment on our Facebook page with your sex lives.
Boring song, wasn't it?
We've got some more viewer points here. What have we got? Nathan, 20, from Preston, says, I like kids, and also Troy, Brad Pitt. Well, that film is all about a guy who gets an arrow through his
good
heel
point.
and dies. So, yeah. Jake, 21, from Preston. Yondu, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all, from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Rest in peace, that man.
Rest in
That was
peace.
another great one. Another good death. Very sad death. You know, one for the daddies.
One for the daddies.
Yep.
Ian from
And he-
Bolton suggested Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, which I've never seen. 2 films I've never seen, actually. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot and Midnight Cowboy.
What's your thoughts on them, Tom? I've seen Midnight Cowboy.
No idea what they are. but-
I've never seen either of them.
Yeah, it's good actually. It's got what's his name? John Voight. Is it John Voight?
He suggested Moon as well, but I don't remember the guy.
Sam
behind
Rockwell.
the Moon.
That's another Duncan Jones one.
I still need
Yeah,
to-
well, that's what he said. He said source code's rubbish.
That's interesting
Moon's
because
better.
that's Sam Rockwell and his clone. But it's I think it's the clone that dies.
I seem to I remember really enjoying Moon. I don't remember it dying at the end though. This is the thing. All these films, you're like, wait, he died at the end.
I've got a good one here, which is like probably one of the more emotional deaths. I mean, there was D-Day and that, which was horrific.
It's a good point. I just mentioned Sim
Frank.
and Full Line.
Thanks, Frank Darrenbaum, for that.
Was it D-Day?
I'm going with $1 Million Baby.
Oh, did she die?
Yeah, she breaks her neck, Tom.
I know, but like
Clint Eastwood just gives her a slag.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
no, he does it with his bare hands.
Hang about. Gran Torino.
Yeah,
Oh,
another good one. Basically, any
Tragic.
film with
Clint Eastwood.
Call Misty for Me, where he kicks her off a cliff.
Throwback Secret Cinema times.
That was a good death.
It's a bad film.
Play Misty for me. Just play Misty in it. Yeah.
Did not like that film.
Whack straight off a cliff.
Who are we actually on? Who?
I just said
I said Gran Torino. We just said
$1 Million Baby because she breaks her neck and then it's a mercy killing. You gotta love a good mercy killing. I've gone for 2 mercy killings in a row.
Right, here's one where it's a bit up in the air. Is it a protagonist? Is it an antagonist? Sweeney Todd.
Rip, my man.
Which person is Sweeney
he's good
Todd?
at foot.
Sweeney Todd, you
Sweeney Todd's
When the kid does
Johnny,
him in.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Yeah.
Kid does him in at the end.
I think when there's a guy
he
who's
throws
going
Mrs.
around
Lovett in the oven.
slitting throats, making them into pies, I think there's only one way that's going to go,
Yeah.
and that's
I mean,
into the pies.
can you please stop saying to everyone's suggestion? I mean, it's about people.
Don't say it's Jack's
dying,
suggestion.
It's a good point.
right?
I've made some good
Don't
suggestions.
say
love
when
Gran Torino,
everybody
Jack.
says,
Great
"Oh,
film.
this film, oh yeah, well, it's about this, and they're gonna die in the end eventually."
well, it's obvious that he's going to die.
It's
in
like,
that.
well, it's about a human being. They're gonna
Look,
die.
if you
of
watch a
old
film
age
about
eventually.
one of the world's first female boxers, and she's like climbing up the ranks, and halfway through the film, she just like falls and breaks her neck on a stool. You're like, Jesus, where did that come from? And then the bit where she
it's
gets
about boxing, they're gonna die eventually. This is your
lots of
logic, Josh.
lots of boxers don't die straight away. It's not a profession where you're going to die, so you're going to punch people in the head.
Just stop. Just allow people to say film. And
Jack, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I had one and I've just forgotten it. So back to your conversation. And it was a good one, and then I completely.
What was your one, Tom? Oh, you just said
yeah, it was like I said, it was up in the air whether he was antagonist or
What was your first suggestion?
my first one.
The one that we just said.
Oh, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, can continue. Sorry, it wasn't. It was. I'm trying to get back onto my lines. It was
Demon Barber.
Yeah,
of
Demon
Fleet
Marley.
Street, which is red on a Monopoly board. Does that mean anything? Who knows?
Possibly.
Nope,
Probably
not a clue.
Probably not.
I got one here called Into the Wild. You ever seen that?
Ooh, yes,
Oh, I never watched
that's-
Into the
that's
Wild.
Sean Penn directed it. It's really good. It's one of my
Oh, the
favourite
one that
films.
came out like 2 years ago.
Very good.
2007.
No. Yeah, no.
Oh right, okay.
It's about the guy who
Christopher McCandless.
drops everything, goes completely like.
Yeah, he graduates, and the day after he graduates, he takes his like law school money, gives it all to charity, gets in his car, and drives to Alaska. But obviously, his car breaks down or gets swept away. Actually, so he just like walks around for a bit and like goes on all these crazy adventures.
Not using any.
I don't really want to spoil
electricity
this
or
film
anything.
actually, but I kind of have because it's the film. Yeah, he dies, but he goes on a really great adventure, and he has a really good time, and then not such a great time, then a good time again. And what's tragic about it is he realizes partway through like memories are only
Just as
good.
he's about to die.
Memories are only worth having if shared. Well, to an extent, happiness is best shared. And he takes. We won't reveal how he dies, but
I
yeah,
know.
he dies a horrible death.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dumb one.
So yeah, but Alaska looks nice in it, and it's Sean Penn who's really good.
Mm.
What is that? Can you hear that?
I can hear that.
It's a bit of feedback or something.
His phone is
It's gone now.
getting a
No, it's
message.
gone again. It's gone again.
Sorry about that.
I
Yes, sorry, Sean, 20 from Preston or 21 from Preston. I've got that on that list. This one is coming up. Be patient. Carry on, Jack.
Thank you.
the American History X. Have you seen American History?
Yeah,
The kid.
Lovely.
yeah.
end.
That's a
The most
Lovely.
shocking death I think I've ever
Lovely,
seen
lovely.
in film.
Yes.
Because I mean, I rewatched it again the other day, and that whole last 15 minutes is basically.
What's that kid's name?
I'm not sure.
No,
That
John
whole
Connor.
last 15 minutes is complete build up to Ed Norton getting killed. He's looking behind
Edward
him the whole
Furlong,
time.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you're waiting for someone to walk up to Ed Norton, put a gun to his head, and blow his head off.
Mm.
And the kid, unbeknownst to anyone, walks into a bathroom, turns around, and gets shot.
Right. In
And
it.
it's the most shocking death. I swear. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what
In
film?
a school, it was.
In a school,
1998.
relevant.
And they
Time.
weren't white.
It's true. Racist.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom
Well, the
X
film
Pop.
is all about neo-Nazis.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Tom, do you want to hit us with another one?
Yeah, sure. I Am Legend.
Nah.
Will Smith at the end.
Well,
It depends
the
on
dog.
which version you watch. Yeah, the dog. But to be honest, I'm more sad about the dog.
That is a good doggo. That's probably one. We've got a possible theme of best like on-screen animals and children. I'm sure Nathan 20 from Preston would love that one. Big fan of pets.
And children, it seems.
Apparently
Yes.
so. So yeah,
But no.
the dog one. Did you know that in the original ending to that film, he wasn't meant to die?
Yeah, they did an alternate version.
Yeah, he like shows him the cure, or they take the body away. They take her away, and he's got the cure, and they take the body away, and then the studio are like, bit boring that. Come on, blow him up. So they did.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I would have been.
There's a director that said this week he has no intentions of making a sequel to it.
They're making a game of it, I believe.
Really?
Oh no, that's World War Z.
Yeah, what was he?
Zed.
Zed.
ZZ.
Friggin'.
Go on,
Bricks.
Josh. What's your one? Armageddon.
Bambi's mum.
We've had on again. One
Have
of
we
the,
had that
one of
again?
the listeners put it.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
I'll say what Sean 20 from Preston was alluding, 21 from Preston was alluding to. The boy in the striped pajamas. You don't see that one coming, really, do you? I mean, it's set around a concentration camp, but you don't see
There we go,
that
Josh.
kid.
There we are. It's based on Jews in a concentration camp.
Well,
They're
no,
going to die eventually.
The guy who dies, the protagonist who dies in it, isn't a Jew, and he isn't in the concentration camp.
I mean, I'm just going off your logic.
Well, no, because
Films about this.
no, because if the film was about, if the film's main character was a Jew in a concentration camp, you'd say 9 times out of 10 he's going to die. But this is about a German kid, the son of a Nazi officer, who then, unfortunately, through a series of events, ends up getting killed. You know, you think he'd probably be one of the safest kids in Germany. You know,
What about?
and he gets gassed up.
I'm taking it outside the box here. King Kong.
Well, yeah, this was another subplot I was thinking of having of monster movies. They always die, don't they? Well, 9 times out of 10, unless you're building the universe.
Most of the time. I mean, King Kong dies in King Kong because that's the plot.
King Kong, Godzilla, 1998 one at least. Jaws.
He's not a hero though, is he, Jaws? Speaking
Well,
of
no.
Jaws, Quentin Jaws, Robert Shaw, big up Bolton.
Yeah, big up Bolton.
We're moving on.
Sure.
Where were we?
Do we have any more?
Play
Play a song.
Play a
We're
song.
going through
Play a
this
song.
way too quickly.
We're getting into like this is a very like
Obvious soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, it
So,
isn't.
It's fairly obvious.
Just screams the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we'll play this one on. This isn't so known. This singer has like 3 songs on this soundtrack. It's ridiculous, and let me tell you, none of them are any good. Sorry, we just sort of messed that up having a debate whether Tyler Durden dies at the end of Fight Club.
I thought he did, but you know, the narrator, not Tyler Durden.
narrator,
we know
yeah.
that Tyler Durden dies at the end of Fight Club.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Yes, she is.
I was right. And
Prob-
Tom was also
potentially.
right. Tom
I
was
was
also
wrong. I made it.
right.
Ian, 51 from Bolton. The Departed.
Yeah.
Sad
Got that
times. Sad times.
Everyone in The Departed dies.
Everyone.
Protagonist, antagonist.
One of the saddest.
You know, everybody.
The Departed, Martin Scorsese with Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Matt Wahlberg.
They all get shot in an elevator.
All of them die. You've never seen Departed?
Nope.
To be fair, you didn't know who Scorsese was until like a few months
You're on a
ago.
timeout, Tom.
A few months, you mean like the first year of uni?
No, it was on the
No,
radio.
it was like literally on the radio a few months ago.
Yes.
I'm good with like films and like
terrifying.
the directors that are like related to them, but I'm not good with names.
My next shout out is a good one. The Wicker Man,
Oh, yes.
the 70s version.
I was gonna say,
Not the good one,
Not the good one.
not the bad one. I mean,
With the truck.
the
Nicolas Cage is fantastic in that.
the Wicker Man, the original Wicker Man. He goes to an island. Literally, the whole film. If you've not seen the Wicker Man and not the B one, the whole film is him about. He's like, right, I'm searching for this missing girl. Missing girl.
If you choose to accept
So yeah.
this mission girl.
So he goes to this island and he's like, right, can't find her. And then he finds her right at the end, but they're having this big festival and he gets caught up and gets thrown in a wicker man and set on fire and dies. And you think, it's one of those where you think, the shot is like panning around, you think, oh, brilliant. there's a helicopter going to come or something, it's going to be saved.
Nope.
And then the credits just start rolling, you're like, oh my god.
They just burnt him alive.
And he's just dead. You're like, Jesus Christ.
It's a really dark film.
It's a brilliant film. Christopher Lee's favourite film who was ever in that.
What? Not Attack of the Clones?
Not Attack of the Clones.
Outrageous.
Of all things, that fight with Yoda wasn't his favourite thing.
It was my favourite film.
Mm.
Jack Frost. You ever seen that?
I've never seen Jack
Oh,
Frost.
Fantastic Christmas film. Michael Keaton plays a
Amazing.
musician dad. Plays like fantastic, like late 90s Keaton.
Yeah.
Probably at his pinnacle. Past the 80s, but it's still fantastic. He dies in a car accident fairly early on in the movie. Really tragic because he turns around to go
Is
home
that
to
the
see
really
son.
cheesy horror film?
No,
No,
it's
no,
not
it's
cheesy.
not horror.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then he becomes...
okay.
It's a Christmas film. It's lovely.
Yeah.
There's some fantastic snowboard fights and...
Yeah. He's basically a
Snowball
snowman
fights as well.
that gets he gets reincarnated as a snowman to spend some time with his son and
Yeah.
get him back on the right
Is he
track.
walking in the air too?
So no,
No.
but basically his son's
Sometimes.
going down a path of like self-destruction because of his death. So he puts his son back on the right path, and then right at the end, because
No.
he's
Does he
fulfilled
not?
his
He's-
goal.
He decides to say hi to his wife and then disappears.
Yeah.
Does he? That's good of him.
Yeah, he's back. He's back for like a few days, and he doesn't. He's like, "Don't tell your mum," for no reason really. Like, he's probably just hitting all the other lady snowmen, isn't he?
Oh yeah, stand.
Just getting out
The
there,
other lady ghost.
being
snowman
all lad.
thing.
Yeah.
The
Just doing.
Ian from Bolton also suggested.
How old is Ian from Bolton?
51.
Yeah, cheers.
Ian 51 from Bolton also suggested The Mist.
The Mist.
Because
yeah.
everyone dies except
Yeah.
one guy.
Yeah, well, see,
But
I
he is
was
the
going to say
protagonist.
that, but I wasn't going to say it because like he's the protagonist. He
I
survives.
said it. I said that one because I just knew Tom would like that one. He'd be
I
like, yes,
I
The
did. I
Mist.
wasn't going to
Jack,
choose it though.
oh no, I said this to you, American Beauty, but you wanted to stay clear of Big
Yeah,
Kev.
I love American Beauty, but I felt like I couldn't. I had to stay clear of Big K, the Big K bomb.
I got one.
Bless you. I do mention it a lot. Bless you.
This is the third one. The T-800 from Terminator 2
Oh,
breaks my heart every time.
we've all just done the thumbs up. We know.
Yeah.
Sad times for
That is a great one.
Mr. Schwarzenegger. Sad times.
What else is there?
But that-
We should probably.
Ian
like,
51 from Bolton also suggested Get Carter, but I've never seen Get Carter. Actually,
Oh,
that's a lie.
Get Carter's great.
I watched half of Get
It's my
Carter
dad's
when I
favourite
was
film.
younger, and I didn't like it. And my dad shouts at me for not liking it. So
Yeah, it's a proper dad's film, but I do like it as well. My dad is like mad for the soundtrack. Every time I turn up, he's like, "What are you playing this week?" I'm like, "Oh, such a thing."
is he like,
And he's like, "You know what you should play?" I was like, "Is it Get Carter?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a good soundtrack." that." Just the theme tune for it. I think it's basically what the new Sherlock one is. That's like an adaptation of it. You know, the TV series
oh
Sherlock.
yeah.
Yeah. He's mad. He loves it. Big
Same.
job. 54 from Preston.
There we go. Shout out to what? Go on, Tom. Shout your dad out.
53, sorry.
What, are we
He's
saying
forgotten-
the,
he's forgotten
are we
his
saying the
name.
year
He's
that they're
forgotten his
born,
name.
or are we saying the
His age.
age? Okay, Daryl 54 from Devon.
Perfect. We've done it.
From Devon.
Devon.
So Roger
Um,
Deakins from Devon.
Actually, yes.
Roger
no. Here's one. This one made me depressed for a week because it came out of nowhere and it was just such a
That's a very specific
twist.
time frame.
Just like exactly a week.
Oh,
Done.
1 week.
Clapping.
yeah. So British Terabithia.
Nah. Okay.
British Terabithia.
Is that what? Is that kids' film where she
Yeah, yeah.
kills herself?
No,
Drowns
like,
or
all,
something?
no. So basically,
Drowns. Yeah.
it's
she drowns.
advertised all as like this, you know, these two
The
kids
name
going
rings a
to
bell,
this
but I have no
fantasy land or whatever like that. But it's
Yes.
actually
Just reminded me of one.
they just have like there's a tree that's fallen over or like a rope swing that crosses this river and they go over there. It's all their imagination and all that kind of stuff. And like literally everything's going fine. They're like, you know, developing, they're fighting off the bullies and all that. And out of nowhere, he like comes back. There's a bloody ambulance like outside the house. It's like, what's going on? And his best friend from next door went
birds
to
died.
swing over the river, slipped, whacked their head on a rock, and died and drowned.
It's pretty shocking, actually.
He just out of nowhere. I was like,
So that film with Macaulay Culkin, I can't remember what it's called, where he
Home
gets
Alone, where he dies.
no, he gets stung by bees and he dies.
What?
Yeah, it's
not
like,
the bees.
It's a
I've just thought of one that's really sad. Inside Out, Bing Bong.
Oh my god, no.
Do you know? Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
I was,
Bing
I
bong.
was gutted.
Oh, yeah.
He just
I only watched
like,
that for the first time not so long ago.
He's like,
That's it.
did he kill Bing Bong?
my
Is that
girl.
this thing?
My
He gets stung by being
He dies by he has allergic reactions after getting stung by loads of bees, and then she like kisses him in his casket. It's fantastic. It's great.
Ian, 51 from Bolton. Spartacus.
Thanks for clarifying, because
You gotta keep it going.
we've got a big Ian.
I mean, it's about Spartacus, Josh.
Could
Do you not have anything to say about
Could have
that?
been separate.
I am Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. Tom's joining in with the festivities.
Just
I've never seen Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. And I'm from
right, you
Devon.
are my lover.
You know Roger Deakins is from the same village as me.
Pint of lager, please, Mary.
Right, you are my love.
Right, should we have a song?
Should we have a song?
We should have a song.
Let me just say one more before we have a song. Batman vs Superman.
Nah, shut up.
No.
You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
Why is that, Tom?
Anything for my princess.
So,
Oh my god, that was very loud.
was it, sorry?
It was, yeah.
Jake, 21 from Preston, says Green Street, PT.
Jack's not with it at
I've
all.
not seen Green Street.
Do you not live, mate?
No.
Well, there you
Poor
go
little hammer, he gets whacked to death by a Millwall fan.
then. Yeah, you were talking.
It's Charlie
So
Hunnam.
wait, isn't
Yeah.
isn't
Sad times.
Millwall
I'd
your
cry.
arch
I like
rivals?
Chelsea.
Yeah, you know Haval the other day was in my car and he says to me, he goes, I'm wearing a West Ham shirt in my car, and Haval turns to me and goes, did I ever tell you I used to play for Millwall? It's like, get the out of my car right now. Middle at roundabout, I was there leaning for the door. He just dropped that on me. Yeah, 12 to 16 I used to play for him, and they're quick because I got quite good GCSEs and that. I was like, good. I burned the shirt. Burn any pictures. So yeah, Petey gets his head like beaten, but he does it saving Elijah Wood, Frodo, who also dies. And there's a really good little song that goes with it. It's like, poor little hammer. Jake, who suggested it, 21 for Preston, can memorise it all. I think my dad can memorise it all as well.
It's not the Get Carter soundtrack though.
No, it's not the Get Carter soundtrack. The two loves of his life.
Get Carter soundtrack and Green Street soundtrack.
He don't really like that.
Not
one.
you.
Just West Ham. Yeah.
Not you and your mum. My dad guessed the soundtrack.
Oh,
Who's your dad?
Ian 51 from Bolton.
Congratulations, Ian. But you didn't comment on the Facebook page.
So it doesn't count.
You don't get nothing. If you want to comment on our Facebook page, it's the Room Pulse
Look at that
Media Radio
Look
Show.
at that segue.
And if you want to
Can I
tweet us,
segue?
because we accept tweets as well, it's at the Room Pulse.
Tweet us, it's easier.
go on, Jack.
Yes.
Go on. Move on.
It's my go, is it?
It is.
Oh, heck. Nemo's mum.
Wow.
We just
You're
stop-
really
can
scraping
we-
the bottom of the
I was
barrel.
about to say, can we just stop like naming deaths? It has to be like the protagonist, like the main guy.
All right, I've got
or
one.
close
Bambi's mum.
to.
I said Bobby's mum
Oh,
earlier.
damn it.
And a real fleeting comment that nobody
Right.
caught.
Simba's dad.
You mean Mufasa? Say his name, damn it. Say his name.
Every Disney character's parent.
What did I just turn off then?
Don't know.
Batman's parents
They got-
were at it.
On beyond.
I tell you what dies in a Blood Diamond,
DiCaprio.
and his South African accent. My God.
District 9.
Speaking of
District 9, he doesn't die. He becomes an alien.
That's as good as dying.
I don't understand how.
I don't
how
want to
it-
be a. What do they call them? Like rats or
prawn.
something?
No, prawn. Hey, a prawn.
Hey, you. Black and white. I don't want to be a prawn.
This is the day this country goes to the dogs. I am the captain now. Yeah, that is yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I don't understand how somebody's so South African and sounds so Scouse. Through that entire film, every time he swears, he just turns into... He's like, fucking...
Tell you what's a sad death. Tom Hanks.
Run.
Are you predicting the future here?
Tom Hanks is will
This
to...
is like that scene in Thingy where Game of Thrones where everybody comes and stops Jon Snow.
Tom, they turn around.
Tom Hanks' will to live at the end of
Philadelphia.
No, the one with Wilson. Castaway.
Castaway.
Tom Hanks'
His will to live
will
dies.
to live Have you seen that film?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
He gets home.
How can you not
right,
see that film?
He gets spoilers. He gets home perfectly fine after however many years on his
3
own
years on an
island,
island on his
right?
own.
His wife just abandoned him. She's
Well, to be fair, she
moved on
thought
now.
he was dead.
Well, yeah, but so he gets home. He literally has nothing to live for anymore. He's
Nothing.
like, I just haven't taken
He's
back
been
to the
living for
island.
3 years off this little locket picture of his missus and a watch she gave him, and a volleyball called Wilson. And
What? Yeah, but he
Wilson
loses
Wilson leaves him, and his wife leaves him, and he has nothing left.
So he probably kills him. So
Probably.
it's probably
Philadelphia, he dies
I
of
bet-
that. He dies of AIDS.
Post credits. Oh my lord.
On the terms of
So is Dallas
Nice.
Buyers Club Master McConaughey.
John Coffey and the Green Mile.
Yeah, suggested by the viewership.
Absolutely heartbreaking that.
I mean, the guy's on death row, Tom.
I swear to God.
What do you think was going to happen? Granted, he's innocent. Granted, he's immortal. But, you know,
I can't bear this anymore.
death row, mate. Have you never seen, like, any... What's his name? What's the black guy with the presenter with the glasses?
Tom Hanks
No.
blacked up.
That's a Tom Soper statement.
That's a good point.
What?
Damn it, Tom, you're disgusting.
Ian,
Darwin's.
51 from Bolton, suggested Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, probably on the topic of AIDS, I
Yeah.
would imagine.
This
You
will-
said AIDS, so it's like, you know.
Isn't there... There must have been a massive baby boom in
AIDS epidemic.
1961 that saw a lot of Ians be born. Fantastic. There's been so many Ians commenting tonight, isn't there? Outrageous.
But what?
Where's your joke going,
61
Josh?
isn't 51.
I
years,
said
is it?
69, 66
Yeah,
now.
there you go.
I
There
said
you go.
66 now.
No.
Well, he's 51, that's why. God damn it. I'm going to edit this out.
Of course. Play a song.
Just put Tom in saying
Play a
something.
song, at least you can blend
No!
the edit.
We just play this on. Like just,
Um,
Oh, yeah, we did.
let's just.
Don't play.
here's an interesting one, and it's sort of a bit like... what was the other one I said, which was like this? Can't remember. Lawless. Because Tom Hardy dies in that after surviving so many
That's
things.
ridiculous.
And
that
then
film.
dies of pneumonia at the very end.
Triggers me.
He gets shot, gets his throat cut open.
I know.
Yeah.
Such a cop out. I was so like. I don't
But it's like a
film.
true story, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe he did die of...
Good film, man.
I really enjoyed it.
On that, law-abiding citizen. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
He's a bad guy,
Well,
Tom. He kills a lot of people.
Yes, but
The justice system fails a
is
lot
the
of
guy
people. You
in
don't
V
see...
for Vendetta a bad guy? Does he want to blow up Parliament?
well,
He wants
in
to
the
change
world,
the
in the
ways.
world that's set in, he's a bit of an anti-hero.
I
you know.
don't think.
Look, it's like saying one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. We're not here to discuss
It's like saying,
politics
it's
or
like
philosophy.
your catchphrase.
It is.
You say potato, I say you're a twat.
Perfect.
I
Do
really
you know?
wish
I'm sorry, drifting off topic here. I watched Maze Runner 3 the other day, which was good. I like the Maze Runner films.
it's in the first one. It was alright.
I like the Maze Runner films, so I was quite excited to go watch in 3. And there's a scene in it, right? Because all the way through the second one, which is like better than the first one, but it's got zombies in it, and it's genuinely scarier than a lot of horror films nowadays.
Yeah.
Because it's just like weird zombies running at you. With zombies aren't scary, but they're pretty disturbing for what they are. For a 12A. So all the way through watching that, me and my dad would turn to each other and be like, 12A. This is a 12A. It shouldn't be a 12A.
Who's your dad again?
Ian, 51 from Bolton. So we were watching the third one.
One of these.
Basically, I more or less dragged him along to the third one. I don't think he wanted to watch it. And we were watching it, and we sat there just going 12A because there's some violent scenes in it for a 12A. But there's this one bit in it where this guy goes, "What a twat," in a 12A.
You're allowed one. You're allowed one.
No, but then he says like,
That's the
shit.
rule we operate on.
He says he has loads and loads and loads of swearing.
It's
in it.
like we said to our actor,
Weird.
and we were filming last weekend. That's where the radio show was up.
I don't know how they
Late,
got away with it.
We were like, you can say everything but one word in this film. Remember what the one word was? It had a big round C at the front, and then a U, and then you can, you know. So he said you can say everything but this word.
Did he say the word?
He said it like every take, like just subconsciously. You
You
know.
flipping hack.
You cat.
Damn.
So yeah, maybe it's a subconscious thing. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know.
Possibly.
Why not? Isn't it set like in a? Where is it set? Set in
It's
America.
set in like a post-apocalyptic.
Lipstick.
It's got
Post-apocalyptic.
it's got the English kid in it, hasn't it? But it's also got
It's
a
like
fair amount
half the
of
cast
Americans.
is English, to be fair. Yeah, but yeah,
It's got Effie in.
because it's got there's but
Effie now.
it's got Dylan O'Brien in, but the reason this one was so late because it should have been about
broke
a year
his
ago.
face off,
Yeah,
didn't
he broke like his neck or his collarbone or
It's his
something.
cheek, I think. Fell off a lorry, didn't he?
He did something to himself.
Fell off a lorry during a stunt. Or
He
something.
buggered himself.
Yeah, I've seen him. He looks a bit weirder now, I think.
Yeah,
His
well, he
face
already
looks
had a
bit
weird
washed.
nose, didn't he?
Don't know. He's one that Hollywood are really trying to push, aren't they? He's got a film out where he's
Yeah.
a lead.
Oh, did you see that American Assassin?
No.
Do you know what?
Oh, yeah. They had American in the title, so it must be good.
The opening, it's got Michael Keaton in, so I was like, yes, I like Michael Keaton, I'm watching it. But the opening, it's there again. The opening sort of 10 minutes is like a terrorist attack on a beach. And that bit is actually really well done for what it is. It's quite shocking, it's quite
Like
daunting.
in Tunisia.
Yeah, literally like that. It's and it's quite shocking. You're actually like, Jesus Christ. And then the rest of the film, he just sort of devotes himself to what he does. Actually, he's a normal bloke, right? Who's involved in the terrorist shooting on a beach. His bird gets shot. So what he does, he decides to hack the dark web, become a terrorist cell, speak.
You don't really need to hack the dark web.
He does, and then he
You just go on
he
it.
basically
It's like Google, but
becomes a fake terrorist cell, gets himself all the way to like Syria, embeds himself into this terrorist cell, and then he's about to kill them all, and then the CIA break in and like, right, we're hiring you. And then they hire him, and he just sort of walks around and kills people.
Does he kill the Syrians or somebody
No,
else?
all the CIA do.
Ah,
So that isn't. So the terrorist attack on the beach isn't even like. He's not even like the enemy. Isn't even the main protagonist of that film. They just sort of like kill him all in the first.
that's like America, isn't it, for you? Look, we know that this is the guy
It
you've got
really
the grudge
solves that
with,
problem.
but we have a grudge with these people, and we'll pay you a lot of money if you kill them for us.
It's basically what happens. It's not a good film. But the opening scene's pretty good actually. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Everybody loves a good massacre. Remember that Call of
looking
Duty
good.
game where everybody got shot in the airport?
Remember no Russian.
No Russian.
No Russian.
That was a good one. And I didn't kick you up a sound bite.
No, you didn't.
Hi, doggy.
Thank God. Phew, we really got away with that one, Tom.
My Ian 51 from Bolton suggests Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde's a good one.
Butch
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
They don't die. I'm not having it.
They don't die.
They don't die.
Oh no.
Stop.
Aliens come down like at the end of Fargo season 2 and just take them.
Do you know in the true story they didn't actually die in Bolivia?
Wait, not.
No. In real life they didn't actually die. But it is reasonably open ended as to the fact that they get their heads blown off in that film.
Yeah, they probably die.
They probably die.
And all because of a woman.
I don't because a woman, fit woman though. But in Bonnie and Clyde, have you seen that last scene? It is, for its time, stupidly violent.
Yeah.
Like absolutely ridiculously. They do not. They had the oh my word.
Oh goodness.
That's a good noise, wasn't it? Liam, get on that. Oh, he's not here.
And on the same vein, Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
Sort of like
Yes.
it's us against the world.
I'll just drive off a cliff, solve the problem.
Yeah, it's really weird that ending. I find it's like iconic in cinema, but it's kind of out of place with the rest of the. One of them's like a free spirit, and the other one's a nervous Nelly, and then she just convinces her mate to kill herself. I think it's really selfish in a way, because she was sort of, I believe, if I remember correctly, like assaulted sexually.
Yeah, she was about to get raped.
Yeah, that's like self-defense, and I know there's some other stuff that goes on after that. But that's definitely going to count in your favour. That's a reduced sentence at the very least. She could be out in like 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
Or she could just get her mate to kill herself with her. And they didn't consider what that would do to the arresting officers in that film. Yeah, it does, doesn't he?
I think Jack's broken.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
One I've got here is Cloverfield. Everybody dies in Cloverfield.
Everybody dies on Cloverfield.
Potentially everyone in the world.
Yeah.
Except John Goodman.
Have you watched The Paradox yet?
For a bit, no, yet.
No.
I'll get around to it.
Have you actually
It is bad.
studied like the Easter eggs and all, like the Lincoln things?
No, I've not seen Paradox yet. So
No. Like so, like basically.
Don't spoil Paradox for me, even though
No,
it's
yeah,
true.
it wouldn't be spoiled because this is like a new section, but like around the film and then around 10 Cloverfield Lane, like it's all connected with like websites and products and brands and all this kind of stuff that went on for years. Still is going on. Like, they are like giving so many Easter egg hints about the storyline. They don't tell you the story in the film.
There's links to Lost in the first film.
But it's
the Dharma Initiative sign comes up.
There's there's suggestion that it finishes after New York, because J.J. Abrams has turned around and told people in like an interview, like, yeah, they killed it in New York.
Well, they killed that
monster.
And
10 Cloverfield Lane happens like 10 years afterwards. So, yeah. But yeah, you should honestly go on YouTube and find a video.
Well, no, I don't think that makes sense, because if that had happened, then she'd be a lot more open to the idea that something's attacked him, and he would say it could be the monster again.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather than being
had
like,
to have been knocked out for 10 years.
Well,
you know,
if they nuked New York,
but
they saved everybody from the.
But they're still surprised they've been attacked.
If she didn't believe there was.
If New York had got nuked, and then today I woke up in somebody's bunker, or like 10 years later I woke up in somebody's bunker, and they're like, there've been an attack.
I'd be like, fair, probably.
I'd be like, nice one for saving.
Probably not a rapist.
I mean,
just stay over
there. If you don't like John Goodman did in that film, and acted like John Goodman did in that film, I'd probably is a rapist.
John Goodman's working is the best thing about that film.
John Goodman is the best.
He's like Forrest Whitaker, but good.
And not got twitchy
eyes.
Yeah, that's not really.
He's got like an eye problem, man. I don't think he's got twitchy eyes. Forrest Whitaker.
Oh yeah, Forrest Whitaker. He's got like a lazy eye or something like that. But
I think it's more like he had a stroke or
sad
something.
Death. Donnie in The Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really understated one as well. But it's a funny death as well.
It is funny.
Especially his burial.
Is he actually spreading? Genius film. Absolute 10 out of 10 film.
Gotta love. The Coen brothers love a good little death at the end, don't they?
They do like
you always think at the end of Oh Brother We're Out that they're actually going to bite it.
Yeah, you do actually. A bit weird though. There's a big flood and kind of stuff. Ian 51 from Bolton suggested Magnificent Seven, which is a go-to one, which we've not actually mentioned.
I really like the new one of them.
The new Magnificent Seven is a really good film.
It was one of my favourite films from 2016.
It's a really good film.
Really good.
It didn't have any right to be that good. The only negative I could have about the entire film is that it didn't use the actual Magnificent Seven theme in the film. It only had it over the credits. And that is the only negative. There literally was no other problems with that film.
I thought it was like a lot better than the 60s one, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't have the same iconic stars.
Well, I think it does.
Well, for this
has
era,
modern
it does.
iconic stars. But because
no
spoilers, I mean, Chris Pratt dies in the film. But that was like the most shocking bit. I did not think.
I was thinking the entire way through this. I was like, they could very easily make a sequel out of this. You know.
I thought Denzel Washington's die, but I didn't think Chris Pratt would.
What's that really funny line he has? Way of talking about somebody falling out a window.
Oh, it's like
not yet.
Every floor he hit, all you heard was "so far so good."
I love that. It's
it's a really good film. I rewatched that again a month ago. It's a really good film.
I really like that. I've been saving it, waiting to watch it again.
It's a really good film.
Right. So
here's a good one. Sorry, just before we finish. I was going to say like End of Watch. I
haven't seen End of Watch. I never got around to watching it.
Do you know what?
I'll leave it there then, Jack, because I want you to really enjoy that film. But to do with that, Fury. Same director, same writer.
The only problem, I feel like everyone should have died in Fury. But
everybody does die in Fury, apart from Logan Lerman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think his death is kind of like more.
Shia
like,
doesn't die, does
he? Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Yeah, he gets it right through the back of the head, out through the eye.
Which one?
No, Shia LaBeouf survives to the end.
No, it doesn't.
No, yeah, Shia LaBeouf gets shot in the head.
Basically, he's a second to last one after Brad Pitt, or he's the last one after Brad Pitt. Yeah. Before Brad Pitt.
He's about to load the.
And he's like, give me some guns. So it's like, it makes it more. Everything in that is really well made. So Logan Lerman is like traumatized by the death that guy died holding a grenade for him. What's his name? Something Pina in his name.
Wait, so Shia LaBeouf isn't the main character of that film?
No.
Have I got this whole?
No, Brad Pitt's the main character.
I must have faces mixed up. I thought Shia LaBeouf was the guy, the new guy who comes in.
No,
that's Logan Lerman.
Main character.
Logan
and who's? I'm going to have to Google it.
He's the guy who plays Percy Jackson. From Percy Jackson.
I think I've got faces mixed up because I've not seen it in like a while, and I just thought it was Shia LaBeouf that was the guy who comes and joins the squad.
No,
which is why I always
he's
thought
the gunner. Shia LaBeouf. This guy.
Fun fact: he alienated himself from cast and crew because he.
Well, he does look a lot like
He didn't wash the entire
He didn't
time.
wash at all, and just everyone was just like, "Please stop being weird around us."
Well, no, they were all about like that.
Oh, John Bernthal, my man.
So what's his name? Michael Pena goes first, and he does it saving Logan Lerman. So he's shot by that. Then John Bernthal goes right in front of him, so he's like, Jesus Christ. Then Shia LaBeouf goes to give Brad Pitt some ammo and gets like shot through the back of the head, and then Brad Pitt's like dead upset about that, and then Brad Pitt goes. Like,
Brad Pitt was the reason why.
Brad
it's
Pitt
really
just
good.
kept going.
Oh, this is the French girl in it that bites it as well.
Oh yeah,
everyone just dies.
Oh, no.
Everybody dies.
Apart from the
Scott
Germans.
Eastwood gets out. Scott Eastwood has made a career out of like side characters, hasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of people have though.
He's in the Fate of the Furious at the side. Don't remember him.
He's
the yo-yo kid.
He's the
He's the,
pussy in Gran
Logan.
Torino who's like, "What are you doing? Put that down. Go and kiss some girls, boy."
Diablo. Don't remember him in Snowden. Pacific Rim. He's a new one.
That looks terrible.
Pacific Rim 1 was terrible.
It's surprising they haven't made him
Wasn't
out to
that
be some
Del-
kind of leading man yet, is it?
No, it was
He's got the jawline for it.
I think it was it produced by Del Toro?
I think so. It wasn't directed, no, but like it has the same production.
It's his wild
quality.
idea,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Do you know what,
Here we go.
Jack? have you played?
Strap
You played
yourselves in.
Bioshock, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. How much would it be amazing
For a Bioshock film.
by Del Toro?
the bless you. Jesus.
His production quality just screams Bioshock.
The problem is with
Video game movies.
It's not that isn't the problem. The problem is the reason Bioshock and like GTA you can never make films out of it is because they're so long and so in depth. You can never get that from like one film, and even 3 films you wouldn't get that impression from. Like I think one of the best narratives I've ever played in the game was Bioshock Infinite, and that's one of the best stories I've ever played in the game. But you'd never get the same sort of thing out of a film because the first 2 hours of the game you're just wandering around, you're enjoying yourself.
There was actually supposed to be a Bioshock film by Del Toro, but he refused to make it or refused to fund it because the company wanted it to be a 13. And he was like, no, it has to be an 18. And they were like, no. And he was like, how can you make a 13 out of a story that involves like dissecting girls?
You'd have to
and planting like slugs in their stomach to then like harvest them.
You're not bitter about that though. That's the important thing. The Windtalkers. You ever seen that?
Yes.
No.
Isn't that with Mel Gibson? No. Yeah, Mel Gibson.
No,
Nicolas Cage. I said.
There we go. He's on board.
Yeah.
What about The Shining? Says he in 51 from Bolton.
Yeah, I mean, is he a protagonist?
Yeah, because he's just he's taken over by like the evil spirit of
the evil
hotel.
within,
Yeah.
who is never really explained. But he also, in 51 from Bolton, also just suggested Charlotte's Web because the spider bites the dust.
It's an interesting one.
Rip spider. He also said 4 lines. He clearly didn't tune into the opening of the show, did he?
Jack and Titanic. Yeah, and don't worry, I got that locked down.
Not passionate.
We had impressions and everything.
We did. It's great.
Yeah, Titanic, Jack. And you know what? Rose kills him.
Rose? No.
She does.
Well,
there's room for both of them on that door.
But it's the weight. It's the weight. This is what nobody thinks about. You couldn't fit. If 2 people on that would sink it.
Yeah.
1 spread out, fine. 2 on it you could fit him
Look,
on.
take it in turns.
I mean,
if they're that in love that they can't live with without each other,
well,
then
she should get in the water as well.
Yeah, you know what?
Nobody gets it.
To be honest, I'm pretty sure there'd be more than one door. If I was Leo, I'd be like, right, I need to warm up.
I'm just gonna go for a swim, find a door.
Yeah,
it's not a bad shout to be honest. You take a few dead bodies, you strap them together with hair from your back, like Captain Jack Sparrow,
from a tortoise,
and you ride them all the way to safety. To be fair, they're wet at that point, and I'm sure it's like, you know, when you get in a pool and it's cold, or it's warm and you get out and you're cold.
Yeah.
Or you get in a pool and it's cold, but then you get out of it and you're colder.
Yeah.
At that point, it's probably better to just be in the water.
Be cold.
Yeah. Well, like it's colder to be outside.
Yeah, she looks pretty chilly at the end.
Yeah.
She's got like
She's
icicles
frozen.
on her.
Yeah, she's
on her
lost
nose.
a few toenails for sure. Probably a few toes as well.
Definitely some frostbite going on in peculiar places. Unfortunately. She's lucky. She could barely blow that whistle in that film, but she gets away with it.
Look, I know I gave Tom shit for it before, but the assassination of Jesse James by coward Robert Ford.
Oh, who dies in that?
Jesse James.
Oh, you'd never guess.
And also Robert Ford.
You'd never guess.
Go on,
Fuck
Tom.
you.
Because it's 3 hours.
Trends, Todd. Is that all you want to
It's
say?
3 hours, and you think this is such a specific title. I bet it's wrong. I bet it's
Do you know what?
It's 3 hours, and they become best mates, and you're like, "There's no way you can fucking kill him." And then he does him in. He does him dirty. He goes up and he moves a picture on the wall, and he just shoots him at the back of the head right in front of his wife. Well, his wife comes out and sees it, and he makes a lot of money out of it.
How much money precisely, please?
I think something like $20.
Oh my god, minted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tom's enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
I've gone back through my previous week's notes just to see if I can find anything that would work.
There's so many. It's
weird how
many.
The Passion of the Christ, The Departed, and Law Abiding Citizen come up every week.
I mean, Passion of the Christ is only the second, bro.
I'm
Departed
sure
comes
somebody
up a lot.
dies in The Godfather. Who's a
I mean,
protagonist? Everybody dies in.
The Godfather dies in
Yeah,
The Godfather.
Don Corleone.
So, you know.
Here's one.
And the kid that gets shot at the toll booth.
Should we have a song
No.
afterwards?
No. I don't know. We're running out of good songs, actually. We've used a lot of them this week.
Yeah, but I feel like with 20 minutes to go, we can probably let them know what it is by now.
Yeah,
Put
probably.
on some-
If they comment on the Facebook page, Ian51 from Bolton.
He said no. He said could be bothered.
Well, you know, can't be bothered
I
getting
mean,
the prize in.
How much more effort is it to go on your phone to text you than it is to go on Facebook?
Clearly too much.
Look, I
He
follow
said,
Ian51
he
from Bolton
said,
on
he
Twitter,
said
and
leaving Las Vegas as well, which I've never seen.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, an alcoholic, goes to Las Vegas, gets on the piss.
Does he leave?
It's one way of putting it.
Fair enough. He leaves this mortal life behind.
Ooh.
Ghost, Patrick
Good
Swayze.
eyes, isn't it? Well, I mean,
It's about a ghost, so.
oh no,
Tom, do you want to go on the naughty step?
just suspended again.
Here's one. The Thing.
Interesting one actually, because
Do they?
everyone dies except
The bed.
no,
She doesn't die, does she?
no, everyone dies.
What's
You're thinking of the
Kurt
remake.
Russell and then
It's
Thing.
Kurt-
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's
Original
Kurt Russell
version.
and whoever at the end, and one of them is the Thing. You assume, but you don't know which one. And there's theories about that in the end of that film, because they sit down together, don't they, after just burning the whole place down. And the theory I like is that Kurt Russell, the drink he has in his hand is actually a Molotov cocktail. So he gives it to the guy next to him, who then swigs on it and has a drink. So the theory is that Kurt Russell then knows that he's the Thing because he swigs on this petrol and doesn't flag it as anything wrong.
Yeah.
So that's the theory, because he has
Yeah, but
Molotov cocktails. to the
it
film.
would be a case of where it would be toxic, like.
Yeah, but the Thing wouldn't know.
Would he? He'd just drink it and we'll be like...
He'd just drink it, and because they pretend that they know what they're
That's an
doing.
interesting theory.
It's
that.
it's a theory I really like. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, Kurt Russell could be you just don't know.
It could be the Thing, and how did they...
It's a really good
Yeah.
film. It's a really good ending. It's just a brilliant film. But it's an interesting one for dying, because everyone does die except those two, and one of them is the Thing. You think so? It leaves it open to the, if one of them is the Thing, the other one definitely isn't getting out alive anyway. But you don't, like, both of them are just denied the Thing anyway. So
Yeah. Caesar and the Planet of the Apes?
Caesar and Planet of the Apes, spoilers. I feel like it's probably been longer. Enough. The thing is, I think that one's very obvious.
Yeah, because it follows the whole Spartacus story.
Because first of all, he's not in the
I'm
original Planet of the
Spartacus.
Apes. The second he mentioned his son's name, which was Cornelius,
You know he's going.
you know he's going, because he's not in the original films. He's not even mentioned. So it's like, although after three films of build up, you know,
Right. We'll
play a song.
We'll play a song and then we'll wrap it up and we'll come to some sort of conclusion, if any. But if you haven't guessed it by now, you probably will by this song, which is, I'm pretty sure, a metaphor for gay anal sex.
Could be.
You're not my fucking mother!
Ian 51 from Bolton. So if you've not guessed it by now, then you clearly
how have you
never
not?
experienced the danger zone. Have you ever seen Archer?
No.
There's plenty of references to Kenny Loggins in the danger zone. Anyway, let's start wrapping this up so we can export the recording. Listeners of the radio will still be here. This is simply us.
Yeah, we're not
saying
actually
goodbye
leaving.
online.
We do this every week. We don't actually go. We're still here. This is like the dead zone,
This is like a
Just-
little.
the twilight zone.
Closing
of
up the YouTube.
speech.
It's an Easter egg.
It's a hidden gem.
So this has been The Room. You can find us on Twitter at The Room Pulse, on Facebook, The Room Pulse Media Radio Show, or our business email, theroompulse@gmail.com. any concerns or queries or complaints of any kind are to be directed to @QuitarHero69. I'll try again. @QuitarHero69 on Twitter. He loves to hear about that. That is all. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
So that's it.
And remember, Frank Darabont died for our sins. Bont 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 died for our sins.